Oh, because Facebook doesn't like it when I have music going. Oh, we're going to stop for fuel at some point here soon. Oh, wait. Oh, no, we can make it. We can make it around the corner. Let's go this way. Check the trailer. Yep, not touching that car. Then we turn really wide, so you don't hit the guards. Oh, here comes a truck flying up the ramp. Fly a little bit faster, why don't you? Because that's a great idea, idiot. I'm not getting diesel on the highway. It's too freaking expensive. Yeah, I'm so glad you flew up the highway, old man. There. So, yeah, I haven't been out in a while. I know that. Oh, this ought to get... Oh, here's a semi. Nope, we ain't playing with the semi. I'm coming over whether you like it or not there, buddy. Ellie, your comments are working. That's good. So you're still gonna have a shake, you guys, a little bit. I have a part in the front end that I had the part. It's just gotta get changed, but it's not gonna shake as bad as nearly as it was before. So, just your road drive for a little bit here. See what's kind of happening. There we go. This is the new phone holder. I guess it's kind of a test more than anything as to how things go. So I'm headed to New Hampshire. I've been on the road since about 8:30 this morning. I had to drive down to PA to pick up the horse that I've got on. It's an adorable little Morgan filly. Taking her to New Hampshire, and then when we get to New Hampshire, we pick up another horse. So we bring that back down south. I still have one to pick up as well outside the Syracuse area. We're going to bring that south at the same time. So I do have the big trailer on, not the little one, because these guys wanted a box stall, and then this way I can carry the box stall and another horse with us at the same time. And that's the joy of having this great big new horse trailer. I have options, lots and lots of options. Options be good. So Jay's and I's trip to Missouri went really well. We left New York Sunday morning-ish, like 11:30. By the time he came back, or he came south to me, and got the horse trailer hooked up and got everything ready to go. When we headed out to Missouri, we got there about 11:30 at night on Sunday. A cute, adorable Fjord colt is about 6-7 months old. He loaded like a champ. We got him into the trailer like a champ. And then we headed across. We were supposed to pick up something in Kentucky. The lady never messaged to tell me no. And then what I ended up doing, hey Kathy, yeah, I am traveling safe, I promise. The lady never let me know that she had somebody else pick up the cart. So instead of going there, we went up to Ohio. Really in the southern, very, very southern area of Ohio. It's been a long time since I've been in that far south. Hey Christine, I'm doing okay. Yeah, we're just traveling. Another road trip day. So we picked up a horse in far southern Ohio, and then ended up going down through West Virginia to come up the southern end of Pennsylvania. And then once we got through the southern part of PA, we pretty much traveled across the entire turnpike. It took us all day of Monday to get there, but we did it. Jay and I got into New Jersey at about what time was it when we got in New Jersey? It had been like 8 o'clock. So we got from Missouri to New Jersey from 11:30 at night of Sunday to 8 o'clock Monday evening. We had kind of a weird experience in PA on our way through, but I'll tell you about that in a second. And then we went from New Jersey to PA. We picked up 2 really, really beautiful horses. There was a farm. I guess the owner is getting older, and they're moving the horses off property. But it was a Selle Francaise and an Oldenburg. And if you know what those horses are, they're very expensive sport horse, warm bloods. Beautiful horses. They fit perfectly in my new trailer. And I appreciated to the owners for letting us get there late at night. It was probably like 10:30 when we got there. Once we got it filled up and got out of New Jersey, we did make good time. It really was good time. Jay and I, we trade time driving, and I got to pay him this trip, so that was good, because I actually made money this last trip. Enough that I was able to pay my truck payment and keep current and have a little extra. So that was nice finally for a trip to come out on top versus just breaking even and then some. But we picked up the 2 really nice warm bloods, and we took them all the way up to the Finger Lakes area. And then the horse we had from Ohio made its way all the way up to the Syracuse area. So once we got dropping off those 3 horses, we headed home. And I got home about 5:45. Hey, Nicole, Tuesday morning. And I texted Jim because he was getting ready for work as I was coming in the door. And I said to him, I'm going to sleep. Don't bother me. Don't call me. Don't wake me up. And I slept from like 5:45, 6 o'clock till like 1:45 in the afternoon. I crashed hard. And I slept 8 solid hours. But it went really well. Like I said, the trip went great. We had some great horses on. And the owners were all appreciative. Every one of them thanked us for doing what we did. For making good time, making sure the horses got there safely. And so it ended up being a wonderful trip. The odd thing that happened to us down in Pennsylvania, and I'd be interesting to hear if anybody has ever experienced it or has heard things like this before anywhere else. But when we were down in Pennsylvania, getting ready to head into the New Jersey area, we were down by Bloomfield, something, getting ready to cross over into Jersey. It was a really old section of Jersey, and I cannot remember the town, but I remember the road, and the road is South Delaware Road in Pennsylvania, and it's probably like a mile from what looked like a power plant. I thought nuclear, not quite as big, but it had the cooling tower type to it, and it turns out it was a propane or natural gas power plant, not nuclear. And so we were probably like a mile from where I said to Jay, hey Jay, that looks like a power plant and the towers and stuff. And so I looked it up and Googled it, and I was like, oh, okay, well that makes more sense. But we got like a mile down the road, and like I said, South Delaware Road in Pennsylvania, and the roof vent was open because I have a moonroof, and I could have sworn it was coming from the left side of the truck, and I thought Jay's window was open because he was driving. and I was in the passenger side. And Gene, hey! And all of a sudden you heard this revving of like an engine, like there was a car that was going to pass us. And I thought, I didn't see headlights in the rearview mirrors. And I was fully expecting, because I was looking, because the engine sound of the revving was like really distinct and really, really loud all at once. And it was coming up the left side, at least what I thought was the left side. And I turned to look at Jay and out his window, and nothing showed up. And it just quit. And I looked at the rearview mirrors to see if it fell back behind us, you know, like it decided it wasn't going to pass anyway. And nothing. There was nothing there. And I looked at Jay and I went, what was that? And he was like, yeah, I don't know. And I said to him, I thought a car was passing us. And he says, well, I heard it coming out of the roof vent. And I was like, well, maybe. I said, I thought your window was open from the sounds of it. And he's like, well, maybe it was one of those, oh shoot, I couldn't think of the word this last night either. The thing's a drone. He thought maybe it was a drone, and I said to him, it didn't sound like a drone. It sounded like a car engine. And that was it. We didn't hear anything more. We didn't see anything. It was like a phantom car where it was revving past us, and then poof, gone. But I didn't see anything go over top, because you would have seen the lights from a drone usually. But it was really strange, really weird. I don't know what it was. We don't know what it was. I tried looking up the area on Google for like similar events, and I can't find anything out there. I'm not crazy, and I've told you guys before, I believe in the supernatural, but that was strange. Christine visited you. What? Oh, the car. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But either way, it was really, really weird. Jay's on the fence of supernatural. I am totally and fully belief of the supernatural. But that was odd. That was really odd. I swear, I expected like a muscle car or a hot rod or something like that. Hey, Megan. Or something to come up on the left side of the truck and just pass us and like jerk over, because there was another oncoming car probably like a 3/4 mile away. Like you could see the headlights, but you didn't see like what kind of car it was or anything like that. But I swear to God, I expected something to pass us, and nothing. It just quit, gone, poof. And I was like, man, okay, that's weird. That's weird. So that was my paranormal experience for my trip earlier this week. Hey, Kathy. So, yeah, weird. Where am I going? I'm headed to New Hampshire. I have a cute little Morgan filly on board. I just stopped for about 40 minutes at a rest area, let her rest her legs. We've been on the road since 10:30 this morning. It took me, the owner, or the seller, and an Amish guy to get her on the trailer, because she decided she was not going to get on the trailer. Look at it, it's a bear with a beer mug. Bear brews. This little filly's never been on the trailer before, and so she refused to get up the ramp. But we got her on. She kicks like a donkey, though. Oh my Lord. She kicks like a mule. And but we finally got her on, and she got into the trailer, and I was like, okay, that's it, we're going on the road. So on the road we be. After this trip, oh yeah, the other paranormal thing is I had money missing from my dining room. I swear the fairies have run off with it. Megan came around and paid for some of her stuff that she bought for me, and I left it in the pile by my computer with all my other dollars that were sitting there. And I went down the next morning and I saw it, and I went out to go feed horses and everything before Jay and I left. And then I come in, and the stack of money's gone. Gone! Poof! the single dollars were there, but not the stack of money that I needed for the trip. It's a good thing I had some stashed away, because I wouldn't have made it on fuel if I didn't have it with me. But I don't know where that money went. It just poof, gone. Jim, Jay, and I both scoured the dining room looking for it. We've interrogated the kids. The kids swear they didn't run off with it. So somewhere in my house is a stack of 20s that is missing someplace. Jim dug through the garbage. Jay went over the floors and everything. We interrogated the kids. Lily says she moved it once, but it was supposed to be on the table still, and so I'll interrogate them a little bit more when I get home and be like, all right, kiddos, where's mom's money? Because if mom don't have money, we ain't getting Christmas. But so that's about it for that. Yeah, Megan, and it's gone. It's just poof, gone. I wandered through the house and said to the house fairies, I said, you better give my money back. Yeah, I will. So, it was nice to get a little bit of a break yesterday when we got home early. I hope so, Jean. Like, I really needed it that day because it was fuel money, and it's a good thing I had another stash set aside that I got to replace, because we wouldn't have made it. We would not have made it down the road. I would have had to call my mother and said, hey, can you send me some money, because I don't have any fuel money left, because you know, I don't get paid. So when I do my trips, I don't take money. I don't take deposits ahead of time. I get paid on delivery. So that horse walks off the trailer, then they pay me. I don't take anything ahead of time. And so I'm running on whatever money I have at that time to pay the diesel for the entire trip until we get there. So I thankfully had like $450 like between cash and card in various places to be able to make it at least to the first drop off and get paid. And then it paid for the rest of the fuel for the rest of the trip. But yeah, yes, the trip between Missouri to New Jersey to home, that was $650 in diesel fuel alone. Like, these trips aren't cheap. You know, $650 in diesel across the states is a lot. It's a lot of money. We put out a lot of money. Like, you know, it's not a cheap gig, you know, because I just had to buy all new tires for the truck. 2 of the tires alone are $420 a piece. The other 2 tires that Dad got were a little bit cheaper. They're different though, but they're a smaller size tread, so they run a little bit cheaper than the ones I bought for the rear tire, because the rear tire is the driving tire. So if you know your trucks and your cars, 2-wheel drive vehicle or 4-wheel drive vehicle, but my truck will do all of them. 2-wheel drive vehicle, your rear tires, as long as you don't have a front wheel drive, your rear tires are the tires that are pushing your vehicle forward. And so those tires wear out faster than your front ones will. And so the rear tires have a heavier duty, like the tread has tread for gripping snow or gravel or dirt or whatever I may get stuck in. Then the rear tires have tread, extra tread on tread. And so those rear tires are not cheap. They're, like I said, they're expensive tires. So just driving is easy, but the amount of money that goes into driving and maintenance of the vehicles is a lot, you know. Like I said, the fuel cost, the tires cost, because wear and tear on these tires is a lot. I've had to do more repairs with the truck. Like I said, we got another part we got to put in the front end. We had to replace the tail light on the trailer last night, so that wasn't my bad issue, because I didn't swing the trailer wide enough in one of the Amish guys' driveways, and Of course, it's dark in an Amish guy's driveway. I didn't see that he had a metal stake in the middle of his roundabout center grassy patch. And I was coming around his turnaround portion of his driveway, and the tail light on a part of the trailer ended up catching that metal post, and the light worked for a long time until it didn't, which was on this trip coming home from New Jersey. And so we replaced that last night, make sure I have a working tail light. No, Jay's not with me. I'm on this trip alone today, cruising down the highway, heading to New Hampshire. We're going to go as far as I can go. I know I'll get to New Hampshire just fine tonight. It looks like about 8:30 we're going to get there. And then we're going to switch horses, because I'm going to pick up a horse where I'm dropping this one off to take back down to Pennsylvania. But I also have one along the way over in Syracuse here to pick up and take it down to Bath for its new owner as well. So we're going to kind of stop along the way on the way home, which will probably be right in the middle of the night, which I'm sorry for the owner on the drop-off, but it was the only way to make it all work as fast as possible for her to get the horse home as soon as we could. So I probably will get home probably about, well, this is about a 9-hour trip to New Hampshire, so it's going to be about 9 hours, and then we're going to add 4, so 10, 11, 12, 13, so 13 hours home, because I have time to get home too from the last drop off. I don't know, early morning tomorrow, as long as I can keep driving the rest of the trip just fine. If I get tired, I've decided at this point I can find these truck stops, especially when I'm by myself. I find a truck stop and I pull off into a truck stop, because most of them have been pretty safe that I've found. I make sure the trailer's locked up. I lock up the truck, make sure the heat has been blasting for a little bit, and then I fall asleep for probably about an hour to 3 hours, depending on what I need. Wake up and then keep going down the road. So next week we head to Florida again, Florida, Georgia. That one's actually going to be a little bit different, because the owner is wanting us to drop off and do an overnight stop off in Kentucky, which, you know, Jay and I normally drive all the way through. It wouldn't have been a big deal, but the owner didn't want the horse going the entire distance, just on one trip. So we agreed, because she said she'll pay the overnight. So Jay and I will have an overnight next week in Kentucky, and then we'll continue down to Georgia, drop the foal off in Georgia, and then we head down to Florida, grab 2 horses, and come back north. It's the week after that that gets a little interesting, because the week after that, we're going to Texas. I'm taking some horses to Florida. Then I pick up a horse in Florida. We take it over to Texas. And then we hopefully can grab a couple of horses in Texas. I'm taking the big trailer because it looks like I might be bringing down 3 or 4 to Florida, Georgia. If I can grab like 2 to 4 horses out of Texas or Oklahoma on my way north, that would be excellent. And it would be a very, very good trip for us. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for anything that needs to come from Texas to Oklahoma north. I will be advertising over on Bowie and Stroud to see what we can find. Again, if you know of anybody, you hear anything, don't forget to pass it along, because that would be great. But this will be the longest trip I think that Jay and I will have done together, is New York to Florida to Texas to home. Hey Ellen, I'm headed to New Hampshire. Kingston, New Hampshire. I'll post a picture of the baby over on the Dragon Wing Transport page. Thanks, Megan. I know you post a lot, you tag a lot. I know some other people tag me in other posts. Some people share ones with me, and I appreciate that. Because you just never know what I'm going to find out there, what may work, what doesn't work. But Texas will be an interesting one. I texted Jay and I said, hey, you want to go to Texas? He says, well, that's going to take a few days. I said, yep, it is. Yes, in Cami on the 13th. Yeah, Gene. So I've already figured that out. So Jay and I are going to run to Florida, in Georgia, Florida, turn around and come back, and I should be getting home just about the time to grab a few hours of sleep, and then load Cami up and take her up to her surgical appointment. I've got it all planned out. I am packing my days, but I'm not going to turn down jobs because I kind of need the money right now. We're getting caught up. As I said in my last live video earlier last week, or later last week, I don't know, whichever. I will take on as much as I need to take on because the massive bill, a new baby, well, the one that's on the trailer is a baby. The massive bill that I needed to get paid by the end, I'd be a zombie, right? That I needed to get paid was the farm. I needed to have a massive amount of money by the end of October, or the bank was going to take the farm away, and I wasn't going to allow that to happen. You know, we've been trying to keep up with the mortgage payments, and it's not easy in this era of the world right now. And so you guys know that I've been working my tail off trying to make sure that things are paid for, whether it's selling stuff online, whether it's, you know, selling our personal items or horses, whether it's hauling, you know, whatever it takes. I'm gonna do it because I'm not a person that gives up very easily. I might get disheartened and I might need to take a step back or a pause, but I don't give up. I don't give up. And I was bound and determined to get that money together, and we did it. We absolutely did it. Between hauling and selling Mac, and actually Mac is still with us because his new owners can't take him just yet, so we've got a boarding bill that she's been paying, and selling stuff with you guys, and a couple other things that came around. I was able to pull that money together, and it was awesome, and I was so relieved when I had it. I texted the few people that knew, and I was like, oh, I got it, and I was able to run down to the bank and pay them what we needed to pay them. And then yesterday, after that great big trip that Jay and I did to Missouri to New Jersey to home, I was able to pull the money together, put it into our bank accounts, and get caught up on the truck. And so it's a final, a breath of fresh air to be able to finally come together and go, okay, we have some breathing space for a little bit. You know, now it's November, of course, so now I have a November payment for everything else now too, but you know, we've got things coming around, we've got things in motion, we have other bills paid off so that we can use that money to help pay for other things. So it's finally coming through. I think finally. God, you guys are idiots. What?